Well, I'm in the midst of posting one video, and as I drive down the road, obviously, I hear from a lot of people the idea that Amy had regarding specific buckets in Lexington and potentially Harrisburg is gaining steam. A lot of people like it. I think that's a great mix for everybody, right? For people after that specific horse, it's there. And for people after more of a bucket situation, I did have a couple of clients say, Anthony, I would rather have a group of horses put together and just know that they're the ones that you picked out, and those are the buckets, which is fine. That's why we built them. But I think there is room for both, quite frankly. So it looks like that's probably what we're going to do heading into Lexington. I did want to talk more about Lexington. Before I go much further, I did want to touch on Illinois. The reason I didn't bring it up in the last video, I hadn't talked to Jim much yet other than a couple of short texts. Allie's got grit. Obviously a little bit short coming back from that curve being crowd, but did hook a third. Was it pretty? No. But he did hook a third. And then in the final, a lot of our clients were very disappointed that Brandon Bates chose to take the horse off the gate. I didn't even watch the race. I couldn't find it. Usually it was on DeCoin was on RTN, but Springfield was not. Somebody said, oh, it's on YouTube. Well, I already know what the horse is finished at that point, so it was a moot point. Took her back, and then she ended up subsequently making a break. I know Jim wasn't happy, and I can tell you that I'm not very happy. I mean, truthfully, I wasn't there. I don't know what went into that, but she left very well her first start for Marcus and ended up with a great trip, locked in and looking for room to drag her off the gate. I don't really know. I haven't talked to Brandon. I don't know what went into that decision, but maybe there was a good reason. I'm not sure. So I know that I'd at least two emails from people saying, bring those horses home. I get that all the time, right? When Mountaineer Prince is racing, bring that horse home. Where would you like to race them? Because Michigan horse isn't going to do. Now, he raced okay in a maiden today, but we're not going to be buying Michigan and Illinois breds to start racing in Pennsylvania and Ohio. It's not a good mix. So we'll see what we can do for the Illinois breds, but quite frankly, guys, it's not Jim's fault that the horse got taken back. Maybe there was something wrong with the horse. I just don't. I know the knee-jerk reaction is to get on the horn and send that email, but take a deep breath, right? It's frustrating. I know. I've been there. I'll be there again. It is frustrating, but there isn't much we can do, and getting upset about it is human nature. But those knee-jerk reactions or knee-jerk emails or phone calls or what have you, they're just not really that beneficial to anybody. I know what they are, so I'm okay with them. I know how to filter them out quite easily. But I can assure you everybody's doing the best they can to have favorable racing in Illinois. It's not easy. The races are hard to watch. They're all over the place, right? Illinois, DeCoin, they're going to be going to Hawthorne. I'd like to see if the filly was a competitive filly in that group, and when you're racing for $55,000, taking her back, probably not the best way to go about things. But then again, as I said, I wasn't there, so it's hard for me to really truly comment on that. Now, in regards to Illinois as a whole, it's probably hard for us to buy horses in Illinois or Michigan this year with so much uncertainty, especially when it comes to Michigan. They don't even have a track right now, and quite frankly, if those are the tracks we're going to be racing on, to the point where we have an actual nice trotter that can't function over an entire state, well, it doesn't leave me with a real good feeling, now does it? Not to say we wouldn't buy one, but man, I'm very disappointed with the frustrations, right? And that's certainly not Donnie's fault. I was there. I warmed the horse up. He ran all the track. I might have been able to get him around, but it wasn't going to be pretty. And I know exactly why. As he said, you don't have to call in the FBI. You can tell what's wrong. He's just a smaller horse, and the surface is just tough to get over for him. And when it comes to Illinois, I mean, I don't like the fact that they race 2 weeks here and then 2 weeks later somewhere else, and that race got canceled, so it's 5 weeks later on here. And again, that's not Jim's fault. He's doing the best he can. I just don't know, is that what we want? money's okay. But is that what we want? Again, those are questions that we all have to talk about as a group. So that is that. I think all cards on the table. That's where we're at. That's what happened today. That's where we're at for the future. Can't do anything about it now. It's one of those turn the page situations. You know, I'm your partner on those horses, and no, it doesn't make me feel very good, but there's not much we can do about it. Not now, not right now anyway. Now the other reason was the Kentucky draw just got done. Memento Mori just cannot, for the love of God, just can't catch a break. 10 hole again. You know, Scotty and I talked about it. I wanted to know who he was going to pick, who his thoughts were of driving. Really, I wanted to let him off the hook if he wasn't planning on racing Westland Warrior hard, or if he wasn't planning on, if he had some sort of issue with country dancing. She's down there. She drew in a maiden on Tuesday. It's a good spot. We have every intention of letting her hobbles out a little bit, take the knee boots back off her, we'll tape her knees up a little bit. She's touched her knees twice in her life. I wouldn't say she's a horse that has knee issues or, you know, hits her knees pretty hard. That's not a factual statement. So Arson drew the rail. Great. Gaslight Hall drew 7. You know, I like when people send me the message. It feels nice when you feel wanted. It's a nice feeling, but at the same token, even I, as much as I want to go drive Gaslight Hall, I certainly can't sit idly by, especially in this case. Keep in mind, I have never driven Gaslight Hall in his life. Marvin Luna has a better understanding of Gaslight Hall than I do. Sure, I can go out and race him, it won't be a problem, but James does know him, right? Knows him very well. So James is the best choice for Gaslight Hall. He drew the 7 hole, which isn't good. And they're good horses too. He's going to be 20-1 and earning it. He's got less money, has to have less money made than him. No, Dan Daly's horse has less money made than him. Gotta be the only one. No, General Kronos, Noel Daly's horse, 8,100 made. But most every horse is either over or hovering around 100,000 made. These are good, solid, sire stake material horses. So let's keep it in perspective also. And when it comes to Monday, Memento Mori drew 10. It just seems unfair. Country Dancing with the Rail, very interested to see how she, and I wanted to ask Scott, because I don't know what Mark told him, what the issue was, why she didn't go good, because when we drew her blood, her AST was a little higher, differentials, these are normal, maybe a little high normal, but that was not what I saw. I saw a horse that did not look like she belonged. This is a horse that I thought would be challenging, very competitive in that race. She was not. So we're going to train her up tomorrow. She's going to head down to Kentucky over the weekend and be there for Monday. Scott, I'm going to let her hobbles out a little bit, tape her knees up. You're okay to drive her, right? If you have any hesitation, let me know. I'll drive her myself. He said, no, I'll drive her. I have no problem. I like the filly. She was just touching her knee when I drove her. Good. Perfect. Memory and Imagination, I should have been listed on anyway. I knew Scott hit that. Again, roll the dice. Let's go down there. Just another rotten draw for Memory and Imagination. Last 3 starts down there. 6, 8, 9. That's what he drew. It might have been what he finished too. So I wasn't very happy about that, but that's life. Pickpocket drew the 7 hole. You know, I don't really care if he's good and they don't torture him and they let him race. My God, if they scratch him this week, I'll blow gas. I can't. Don't think for a second that there won't be a giant asterisk beside his name for that veterinarian when he goes on the track, and a highlighter across his name. Qualified good, looked good, has been good. I don't know what to tell you. He goes behind the gate. It's probably the horse to beat on Tuesday. So I'll be staying down for Tuesday apparently. Westland Warrior, I want to give Scott an option also. I know he doesn't love Westland Warrior. He likes him. He thinks he's a good horse. Maybe not as good as I think he is. But Carter Pinsky needed a driver on 2 of his horses in there, and I didn't want to put him in a spot where I was potentially costing him money. So I said, hey, Scotty, if you would rather drive Carter Pinsky's horse, I can drive Westland Warrior. He goes, well, do you want to drive Westland Warrior? I said, I'm not taking you off to drive the horse. If you want to drive him, fine, but Carter Pinsky needs 2 drivers. I don't know if you usually drive for them or not. If you want to, have at it. He said, no, I'll drive Westland Warrior. Which is good. I'm happy to hear that. And then Gymboree in a maiden. Scotty's going to drive her also on Tuesday. Truthfully speaking, realistically speaking, there's a good chance I may actually be home. No, not a good chance. I will be home in Brunswick, Ohio before Gymboree goes behind the gate. Guaranteed. So that's what Sunday, Monday, Tuesday looks like. Terrible draw for Westland Warrior. But as I said to Scotty, we haven't raced him yet. You're going to have to race him sometime. Looks like Monday is going to be the day. So, decent draws aside from Westland Warrior and Memory and Imagination. Memento Mori and Memory and Imagination. I don't mind the 7-hole of Pickpocket. I don't really care. He's going to get out. They're going to be looking for him. Everybody apparently is going to be looking for him. Westland Warrior drew good. Gymboree, but again, that's a maiden, drew good. Country Dancing drew good. Another maiden. For her, 10-hole for Maury. Country Dancing Rail. Memory and Imagination 9-hole. Monday, tough day. But on Sunday, Arson drew the rail, going for 400. That's important. And Gaslight Hall gets a shot also. So we have 8 horses racing in between Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 6 of them in finals. 2 of them in overnight maidens. But nevertheless, to finish off the stakes season in Lexington, it should be a lot of fun. Grand Circuit spins up. As I said, I have every intention of racing some of these horses in the Grand Circuit. Do they fit perfectly? No. But I do want to get some good miles into them. I do want to stretch them out. They've earned it. They've raced well. They've raced hard all year. I want to see what they can do. So that will be the plan moving forward. First off, take a deep breath. It's Wednesday. I got 2 horses to drive tonight in an hour. In an hour and 20 minutes. I have the sale tomorrow in Ohio. That's viewing day. We're going to have a good look at that. I have the sale itself on Friday. Big day for us. Saturday, we have the Meadows and Northfield Park. Some horses racing there. Sunday, I have Delaware County Fairgrounds. We have 4 racing in Delaware. Then I'm going to make my way to Kentucky. We're going to view horses on Monday. We might even now extend it and view them on Tuesday also. Maybe I'll call Peninsula, Amblin Lace, see if we can swing out by there. But by 11 a.m. I have to be back at the track to go first trip with Pickpocket. I'll be going both trips with him on Tuesday. And then hopefully a good result all around. Big week for the stable. Very fluid situation. A lot of horses to look at. Trying to form our team for 2025 in Ohio this week. Big week ahead. Going to hope to finish off our Kentucky run with a big bang over the weekend. And then we get closer. You know what happens next. The biggest one of them all. Big Daddy. Lexington. The Lexington Select rolls into town, and that is one we definitely want to be prepared for. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I hope you've had a wonderful day. It has been an absolutely gorgeous day here in both states I've been in. Good luck to everybody racing tonight. I will talk to you all very soon.